Chainsaw Man!
Chainsaw Man! Yeah, you got it. You got me. Legend has it that every millennia, Vex crawls out from the swamp that he hibernates in. That they hibernate in. I'm sorry. I'm still bad. Recut! Beep! All right, we're back. Legend has it that every millennia, Vex crawls out of the swamp that they hibernate in to talk about Chainsaw Man. Now, luckily, given the content levels, we still only need about an hour for a millennia worth of Chainsaw Man.
That's honestly true.
How you doing, brother? See, here's some behind-the-scenes content for you. It's a fascinating situation Vex and I find ourselves in because, like, we are friends, but we live such different, varied lives that we actually pretty much just actually only talk when we're doing videos. So every video you see is just our friendship cataloged.
You're not the only one that's kind of become my friendship with at this point, so...
That's like the biggest reason we're like, come on, Fujimoto, you need to make good Chainsaw Man chapters. Our friendship hinges on it.
Unironically, though, like, this last chapter and the chapter before were really good. The rest of them, I'm like, what the fuck are you doing? There's nothing here. Literally, this is a 2-minute conversation in a fucking Facebook group.
As always, it comes down to how much he's putting in the chapters, I think, Like, if you... I don't know, I feel like on binge, on reread, like, when you're able to read, like, a whole... Because, like, honestly, like, a whole volume of Chainsaw Man is, like, the contents of, like, a normal chapter of something else, right?
No, really?
And so, like, when you read, like, the entire saga of, like, Denji getting jerked off in a back alley and then them going, like, riding on the train and getting sushi, like, that's good stuff, but, like... Man, it just shouldn't take that long, like, as always.
No, it shouldn't.
Yeah, and this recent chapter was very cool. I mean, it felt kind of like... Now, and there are people making points, and I agree with, that, like, it just does kind of feel like we're rerunning part one, but, like, less good. And to an extent, but there's still good stuff here, Like, I mean, the art... I thought was really cool at points. Like, you know the panel that everyone's talking about when he's got Ear Devil skewered in the middle and he's got all the rest of them skewered on, like, these fucking... I need to actually bring it up again. Like, what is he actually... Is it just, like chainsaw, like, hook? Like, what the fuck does he's got him skewered on? I need to reread this.
That's a good point.
Does Chainsaw Man have tentacles now?
That's... Vax, you can't make that joke.
Yes, you can. It's controlled chaos. You can do whatever you want. Say it.
Erase me, daddy. Erase me, daddy.
Yeah, no, editing this is gonna be fun. I think encoding overloaded, turning down video settings or using a faster encoding preset is what it says.
Yeah.
So is it because I'm like, do I just... All right, OBS, ooh, daddy. Okay, so we're filming again. It just stopped filming for some reason. I'm gonna hope that was a fluke. Anyway, what was I looking up? Oh yeah, the chapter. Right. If I hear another boo-doo-doo, then I know we're fucked.
It would be page 12 to 13 on the most recent chapter. What you were looking up.
Yeah. So I was just in the middle when I got rudely interrupted by OBS of calling you a millennial boomer. Because you will do this thing where you're like, they're gonna cancel me for this joke, and then I'm like, really, Vex? Wow, what's the joke? It better be pretty crazy, and then you'll fucking drop it.
Anybody remotely like looking like a minor, it seems like it's just immediately like, oh, you can't joke about that because he'll get canceled on the internet. Meanwhile, Denji's fucking 18, completely, legal. You just don't know on the modern internet.
See, what you just said was actually way more sus than anything else. I don't even know what you're talking about right now, dude. Like, just fucking... Anyway.
TikTok.
Okay. I think you're in circles. You're so deep in the internet that I think that you I don't know, maybe you just have this perception of what people will and won't be upset about. It's okay, brother. I promise. Okay, so I'm looking at the page. Yeah.
Oh my.
So yeah, I'm trying to.
Split.
He really is just. Oh, it's probably like because he's got like intestines coming out of him. That's like part of the transformation, right?
Yeah.
So
it's the intestines thing, and then splitting Ear Devil down the middle of the mouth.
That was very cool. That particular page was giving like Darkness Devil vibes. Like that was some peak Fujimoto shit right there. I also it's possible that these guys aren't fully dead yet. I mean, you never. They are fiends, so they're probably the same as Power. So like, if they just drink a little blood, they're probably okay. But yeah, I mean, who knows if they're gonna? Because I did want to see at least one of them do something. There was that cute one that everyone was drawing fan art of and liked. You know what I'm talking about?
God, no, I've missed that part of the internet culture for that.
Yeah, you're too busy on whatever the fuck other part of the internet you're on. It's the one with the cute hat, like the little horns hat.
Oh.
Everyone was like obsessing over her and like excited for her to do something, and in typical Fujiwara fashion, they instantly all die. I also really like. I've always liked moments like this. We'll start off by talking about the most recent chapter, and then we can kind of go back to like important moments that we may have missed from other chapters. So there's this one with this gross ass growth on the side of her face, whatever the fuck devil that is, right? And I really enjoy this moment where this thing warns her to jump, and she's like, "Fuck yeah, I dodged it." She didn't actually, but like I just like I like how unnecessary that scene was, but that's one of those scenes that's like unnecessary, but it adds something, I think.
Oh yeah.
One of my favorite moments to talk about that like invoke this thing, I think, is in Hunter x Hunter. There's a moment where they're kind of gassing up the Phantom Troop, like narratively. And so the Mafia is pissed off at the Phantom Troop because the Phantom Troop basically like fucked up their like black market auction and like stole everything. So the Mafia is like, all right, send our top guys. So it's like the top guys in the entirety of this is like a worldwide Mafia alliance. Like it's like the one day a year, all the Mafia come together to like do like black market dealings together. So it's like the top 5 strongest dudes that the Mafia has in their arsenal. So they send these guys. And they send 5 of them out, and the Phantom Troop is like a group of like 13 people, and there's this part where they're like one guy is like, I want to handle them, like because he's like one of those like I like to be strong, I'm a big tough guy, so he's like I'm a 5v1 these guys, and what's nice about this fight is it's like he does defeat these 5 guys himself, but he does get fucked up in the process, like he almost dies, but he does end up beating them in like the most like gruesome fucked up way possible. And I feel like a lesser author, like think like a Tight Kubo Aizen situation, would just be like, I'm just gonna have them fucking block their sword with a finger and then fucking like charge their aura and all their heads will explode. It's like it's so much cooler when they actually do have to kind of like struggle and then overcome. And so like all that to say, I just like that because, you know, I've been begging for these fucking, like, public safety operatives to not be useless for, like, so long, you know? And
part 1.
Yeah, and it's just nice that one of them attempted to dodge. It's like, hey, there we go. I like that.
Hey, I can move more than, like, in front of a bullet.
Well, I think something about, like, something about having at least one of them, like, kind of try to dodge, it lets you know that like it's not that these guys are incompetent, it's that this form of Chainsaw Man is ridiculous. You know what I mean? It helps you kind of remember like no these guys would probably be pretty decent at fighting like any other devil, but this thing is insane, you know?
Right.
I mean, we remember what Makima's attempt to beat this thing was like, you know?
Yeah, it was cinema, like literally
cinema.
I cannot wait to see that animated. I'm not gonna lie.
I want that shit. Honestly, I hope because they're only doing a movie, I assume, for the Bomb Devil arc, and then they're gonna return to like normal season format, I assume. But I want to see the Makima fight in the movie theater very badly.
I clown on what Demon Slayer is doing, right? Like the final arc being a movie. But like, I'd suck somebody's dick to get that as a fucking movie. That final fight.
If the arc is short enough, I say fucking go for it. Make it a movie.
Yeah. Because the thing is, like the Demon Slayer arc, that's not that short. That's an average shonen arc.
Well, how are they fitting it? Is it going to be like a part 1, part 2, or how are they condensing it?
They're Attack on Titaning it. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, because I mean, the thing about if you make an arc a movie, then like. The budget is so much higher, and like it's able to be like consistently good animation, you know, whereas like if you stretch it out into these long episodes, there's gonna be moments where the animation kind of dips in quality. Like once something becomes a movie, it just feels like it's just got like this quality shine over, you know?
Yeah. It's funny because everybody was shitting on like the final arc of the anime of Demon Slayer, and I'm like, that could have been a movie. That's like 4 chapters, you know?
Yeah.
And then
yeah.
they could have actually, made the final season, actually the final battle arc, right? But like, there's some good fights in that final season of Demon Slayer. I'm like, okay, whatever, but it's still stupid to make it into multiple movies.
Genuinely, given how Chainsaw Man is, if they really wanted to, they could just make every subsequent arc a movie. Like
they really could.
We get the Bomb Devil movie, we get the International Assassins movie. That one might be a little
thought
longer.
we were mid. You thought our animation quality was mid.
Who the fuck?
Okay.
People that I can't even fathom. Like the Chainsaw Man anime was amazing.
It's not Ufotable. It's not Mappa.
It was Mappa.
I know, but that's every time that it's a fucking. It's not like polished. It's not the A team. It's my brother in Christ. Do you want them to see their wives again?
I think it's such an unfortunate thing, but I think most people probably like. I was having this conversation with my mom actually when she was giving me a haircut a couple days ago. And it's like I was talking about like how most people enjoy art versus how I enjoy art, like there's and I'm on Twitter with like my group of people, right, that all are the same way, right, like that when we enjoy art, we want to look up who created the art and like see what else they created, and like when I like a voice in a thing, I look up the voice actor and I want to see what else they've done, and like I was telling that to my mom and she was like, I think you are unique in that for the most part. Like most people do just like they're just consumers, they absorb and then they never, like, I don't know, try to give back to the art. Like, you know what I'm saying?
I agree with your mom there. Like, it is a very unique thing that you see. And a lot of us, like, weeb trash kind of do that.
Well, it's so sad. I'm almost sad for those people because to me it's, like, such a deeper... You get such a deeper love for the art when you're able to, like, when you enjoy it in that way. And you know what else is sad? Is, like, a lot of people don't like to analyze art. Like
right. There's a part of me that wishes I was like that, especially in the music scene where like every band you grew up with ends up having like 75 allegations against them,
Oh yeah,
like,
yeah. I mean,
I'm like, I can't really listen to this without feeling dirty. But
yeah,
like
this is I'm sorry, good.
But like at the same time, like I like the fact that I can, subconsciously be like, okay, this is bad now. We're going to throw this in the bin, and we're going to like move on to the next thing.
Yeah, I mean, it's not even just about like so you've heard the term death of the author, right?
Yeah.
Like some people say I am or am not a death of the author type, right? And like correct me if I'm wrong, I could be interpreting this wrong. But like my interpretation of that is like if you are a death of the author type, you are like, I'm going to read this and completely disattach it from the author and like their intentions. I'm very much I try to be like, if there's something that I love and then it comes out that the author did some bad shit, like I try not to say, well, I'm not gonna love it anymore, but in terms of like how I perceive the story, I am very much not a death of the author type. Like Oda, One Piece author, does these little like Q&A corners in every volume, and I hang on every single word of those because to me, I'm sorry, maybe this is like weird for some people, to me the word of the author is law in that universe because they created the universe. If Fujimoto came, do you remember? This is actually classic. This is still up on our other channel, Controlled Chaos, the channel trailer. You remember the channel trailer?
Yep.
When I said if Kubo came out tomorrow and said that Ichigo was a Nazi, he'd be a Nazi. You remember that?
Yeah, no,
the point I was making in that was like people like to pick and choose, but in my mind, it's like the person who literally made all these characters, this world, and this entire series, if they come out and say anything and they mean it, it's canon now. Like, so like
right.
that's just me. I'm attached. This book of Bill just came out. It's a Gravity Falls book about Bill Cipher, and there's a bunch of like extra lore and canon about Bill Cipher. And some people might try to be like, well, it's not in the main show, so I don't. No, bitch, this is a whole book written by the guy who made the show. Anything that's in there.
It was an essay on Pottermore. I'm not taking. And then at that point, I'm like, how much is her just trying to remain relevant?
But see, that's kind of the point I'm making, though, right? Is that, like, under my ideology, anything that JK Rowling would just drop on Pottermore would now be canon. So but it's because to me, if the author says it, even if they've lost their rocker, they are effectively the deity of the world they create.
Right.
You know,
I agree with him.
Well, that's the reason I don't read Harry Potter anymore, because she has effectively ruined it with her
No,
bullshit.
no, like
Yeah.
I put out that fucking TikTok when Hogwarts Legacy came out. I'm like, I'm not the person that you want to ask this question to. I might be trans, but I also grew up with Harry Potter. Like, what the fuck? Like, literally.
And now we know that
if it will bring you some fucking joy, go fucking play it. I don't give a shit.
And
Pirate it first.
And now we know that they all canonically like fucking shit. Or what do? They like apparated their shit away for like years until they made bathrooms or something.
They had public masturbation sessions allegedly too.
In
Hufflepuff.
Yeah, it's strange, really interesting things that hills that she chose to die at. Like, why even? Why double down on hate? Is this all that I will say? Yeah, I'm not even getting into the turf stuff. I mean, that's obvious. I'm beyond even the turf stuff. It's like, why did she wake up one morning and like want to detail how wizards shit?
Why did you double down and say like this is how they learned their sex ed is just public masturbation sessions?
Very weird. The brain, her brain is leaking out her ears clearly. But anyway, Chainsaw Man. I'm trying to think if there's anything else to talk about this. So yeah, they all, I don't know, they fucking blow. Did they blow themselves up? What the fuck? I don't know. They're just trying to like stall him, but like I guess here's the question: what is the plan here? Because like they at the end he eats the ear devil. They're planning on it. Or, I mean, they're not planning on it, but they're like watching and they're like, all right, it's happening. He's eating the ear devil. So they knew that was like a possibility. Any devil they sent after him, they knew there was a possibility of it getting eaten. So what's the plan here?
Yeah, they're like communication is now negative, right?
I imagine. Well, you'd have to do like writing or like Morse code, or I imagine, or like
no one is listening.
Yeah, it's very interesting. I mean, because like I imagine now, like the people that started this plan had to be aware that this could happen. But keep in mind, as far as I guess I don't know if we ever got this confirmed or if it. No, it was because top of the verse, Kishibe did not know about Nazis. So it erases them from existing anymore, but it also goes back in the past and erases
the concept of it. Yep.
Yeah, so like, and you kind of see this. I've been waiting for this. I've been waiting to see this for so long in Chainsaw Man. I'm so happy we're seeing it now.
Right.
Like actively seeing a concept get erased, and because you kind of see for a second they're in the middle of talking, and all of a sudden like she can't hear him, and she's like something just changed. Something's weird. Something's different. But then forgotten, and there's that like creepy fucking Majora's Mask ass bend around to smile at the end here. But like, I just like how. So the question is like, ears don't exist. I have two questions about this. One is, can they not hear it all now, or can they just hear way worse? I'm assuming not at all, but like, I guess how much. What do you consider the ear? Yeah, because I guess the eardrum is the ear as well. So yeah, because at first I was thinking, is the ear just the cartilage around, but they still have like little holes in the side of their head? But that's the ear too, so they can't hear it all.
Yeah, that's such an interesting thing to bring up, because like we've seen here recently, like that you can, and this is getting to the science side of things, like you could actually graft a replacement ear if you were to lose an ear, right? You could actually create it under the skin in the arm, and then you could graft it out of the fucking head, right?
But I think what I almost forgot here is that the eardrum, that's like the inner ear, that's also part of the ear, the actual thing that like lets you hear the you know what I mean? Because that's what I thought at first. I was like, is it just that they've lost the thing? But no, it's everything.
Right, like, and if it's everything, like, how are they able to like hear or absorb the concept of like communication in general, right? Is it just written communication now? Is there a way that we can actually do that? Because at least for like people in public safety, right, they would have like the same communication as like the police force would have, like the little earwig, that kind of thing, to where they could, they're like, okay, he's moving to the fucking, the building on the west.
Anyone that had something in their ear now, it's gonna just like pop out or be like embedded in their skin.
Right. So like, if that's the case, how are they going to have like on the ground communication with everybody to even try and stop this black form Chainsaw Man, right? it's going to be interesting in that regard, but also like in the regard of like, will we retroactively see the concept of hearing itself go away, because music and rhythm and all of that is such a embedded in this culture that of the Chainsaw Man universe. You know, you see the fucking the little like moment where they're all beating the shit out of each other, Denji and S.H.Han, right, where they're doing it to the fucking karaoke bar. You seen the Dance Dance Revolution game with Kobani in part one. Cinema being a big portion of it. Are we just going to have subtitles as the cinema now?
Well, it'd be silent films.
Right.
No, I mean, I think that's like part of, how do I put this? I mean, I think that's going to be like what we see. I think now, because again, it goes back and it like makes it so they never existed. So I think now humanity are going to have to all communicate with sign language or written language. So we're probably going to see a lot of characters like doing like sign language signs, you know what I mean, in the next chapter, and they're gonna I imagine they're gonna adapt to it just like that, because again, it's going back in time and like making it right. So here, well, I guess that's what we're gonna learn, right? It's like, A, are they all gonna be confused and like, why can't we hear each other? Or B, what I assume is gonna happen is that they're all just gonna instantly know sign language, because if we're going back in time and making it so that this has always been the case, then basically every human would have to learn sign language. Like, that's what you'd grow up learning, you know what I mean?
Right. And like instantly adapting to sign language would be a handy skill.
I think that's what's going to happen with everybody, because we've gone back in time, essentially. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I'm just thinking from, like, my perspective, it would be such a fucking handy skill.
Oh,
but also,
yeah. So I went back to
the job. Like, my job would not exist in this universe now. That sucked.
Yeah, it really would. I mean, oh, God, like, music. Yeah, I mean, essentially, I think the only way we'd be able to, like, enjoy music would be, like, the way Beethoven fucking, like, could just read the music sheets. But then again, he could only read music sheets and kind of, like, hear it in his head because he was once not deaf, and then he became deaf. So I don't know if music even in any form could exist at all.
Exactly. And then, like, the amount of music references here, like the whole fucking Chainsaw Man pose there where he's eating the ear devil is a nod to Maximum Hormone, which is a band that they've actually...
That's the Chun Chun I think, yeah. Yeah, no, I mean, clearly Fujimoto loves cinema, loves music, so that might come into play in the narrative, like, oh, because remember, like, that was a big thing that Makima and Denji disagreed with, right, is like, you know, do we want a world where bad films can exist, and just films, and now films in general are kind of at risk. I mean, you can have silent films, but like we're one sense away from losing everything, you know, if he gets the eye devil. But anyway, I went back to the previous chapter to read this part where they're kind of going over their plan, and I just wanted to see if we could kind of illuminate ourselves here. So he says, basically, you know, your performance here will determine whether or not you're protected as members of society or put down as useless devils. So they're probably going to get put down because this was a shit performance. Unless the goal was to distract him like that, I guess. And then he says, your job is to damage Chainsaw Man in any way you can. It's fine if you can't kill him, if you can keep him from leaving. Yeah, no, so they didn't do shit.
They did nothing. They're dead. And then, one of them's really dead, like, no longer exists. The rest of them are just going to be, like, hunted till the end of time, essentially, probably.
Yeah, and then, so ears are just gone now. And this is what's making me think that we are hitting, this feels end game of part 2-ish to me. You know, like,
thank God.
Yeah, I mean, I imagine we're going to see some peak shit for a while. I don't see how we de-escalate from this, right? Like, this is kind of what you and I have been talking about, where we were sick of, like, okay, it looks like something's going to pop off now, and then it went back to boring normal life. But, like, I don't see us going back to boring normal life now. Like, Nayuta's a head on a plate. Denji is transformed into this full form now, and now ears are gone. So, like, I don't think we're getting out of this without ending the part.
And Fujimoto, a bit of advice, since you love to watch our videos, let me feed my ego here for a minute. Please stop. Make part 3 actually fucking consumable on a week-to-week basis, or just commit to once a month, my guy.
Honestly, yeah, like, if you're so committed to making your chapters, like, really short like this, I do think it'd be better as a monthly series, like, because listen, I do like the way he panels out stuff. It's very consumable. It's super, you know what I mean? It's nice to look at. But, like, yeah, it'd be super nice if we could read these chapters and they were like 80, 100 pages, and you get that
Right.
once a month. That'd be sick as hell. Let's see. So yeah, I wanted to mention as well. I think we see. Pillbug, Centipede Devil, and Pillbug Devil. Love that.
I'm sorry, who are afraid of those?
Are you kidding? I'm not, but I know a lot of people that any bugs they're shitting their pants.
I get earwig, but like pillbug,
It's not earwig. It's centipede, which is
centipede,
kind of like
yeah.
Well, so pillbugs,
like,
I can see being kind of creeped out by them because like if you touch them, they go, bleh, you know what I mean, and they like fucking listen. Bugs are bugs. I'm surprised you're not thinking about ear. Who the fuck is scared of ears?
Literally, like ear trauma is something that a lot of musicians deal with, so I understand that one.
But is that being scared of ears? Or being scared of what can happen to ears?
It's more the concept of anything happening to the ears itself. Yeah.
My interpretation of this is being scared of the ears. You know, like how some people might look at like feet and be grossed out. Like there's some people who are looking at like ears, like, oh, I just hate how they're shaped.
I guess maybe that's where they were going with that. I thought maybe it was such like the trauma involved with it.
I guess it's up for interpretation. We've never known. Right. You know, like when you get something like I'm trying to think of a different one that was kind of like. Up for debate on like weird fears. Yeah, like if you get I don't know, let's say foot devil, is it like does being grossed out count, or do you have to be deathly afraid? Is it? I don't know.
That one wouldn't affect me at all. I'm sorry.
People are listen. Yeah, no, you know me on this. Cowards. Yeah. It's Step so normalized to be like, you think feet are attractive? What a gross person. It's like, bro, the whole human body's attractive. And right. If you don't think that, you don't deserve love. Go back to your basement.
Go back to your goon cave.
Yeah. What are you looking at on the woman's body and jerking off about? Tits, ass, vagina? Is that it? Boring. You got a whole platter there, and you're only eating like the pizza rolls and the chicken nuggets. Basic. Fucking live a little, man. Come on.
God. Pizza rolls and the chicken nuggets for the tits and the ass. Okay, that's a new one, man.
Because it's so you see the metaphor.
I get it. I get it. I'm just like
just making sure you understand my metaphor.
I get the metaphor. I'm just like I've never thought of it like that in my life.
When you adapt into a true woman enjoyer, you'll see that the life you can live can be. The horizons are so broadened. Your happiness can go to places that you've never seen before when you start licking the toes.
Yep, I agree with this. I agree with Red so far. Let's see if he continues to be on the track of the plot.
Toe enjoyers over here.
Damn right.
I gotta check with Rios now that he's an official member. Are you a toe? You hold on, just for shits and giggles. I want to see if I can call him right now.
Oh God!
Wait, can I be on a Discord call and a Skype call at the same time?
Your mic will shit out.
Hold on, let me just see if he's online. This is important.
He is not. I have the Discord.
Damn it! No. I figured crossover time. I could bring him in. What about Skype? Can I make this a group call? I have him on Skype.
You could.
Add participant.
Oh God, this will be interesting.
I'm calling him.
Oh no. Added you to Red Alexander.
Come on, answer.
Oh boy.
Is he answering?
Will he answer?
He's not answering on my end.
Nope, not on mine either.
Wait. Oh shit!
Wait,
you're in the Chainsaw Man review.
You are calling. Surprise, motherfucker!
Wait, how? This is sudden, unexpected.
I wanted to.
Are you a toe enjoyer?
Yeah, dude. Are you a feet enjoyer? This is what we need to know.
I can appreciate like as an artist, I can appreciate feet, but I'm not really into feet sexually, I guess. Like
That's fair.
When I see an artist draw really detailed feet, I appreciate it the same way I would appreciate like a really well drawn like leg or something. I don't know.
That's all I ask. I want you to know that's where I am too. Okay, like that. Yeah. I think Vex is on the sexually enjoying feet end.
Damn right.
I just enjoy the entire human body, like aesthetically, artistically. I just You know what I mean? That's me.
Mm-hmm.
But anyway, yeah, we just wanted to call you mostly because I realized that Vex and I were both toe enjoyers, and I wanted to know if you, as the newest member of the channel, were also a toe enjoyer. So, yeah.
So do I literally have to go through and ask everybody?
Yeah, you gotta ask Thurman, you gotta ask Luke. Anyway, but yeah, while you're here, watch our 100 Girlfriends reviews, everyone. This is
Yeah, please. We put a lot of effort into those.
Thanks for answering, man. Sorry for calling you. It's so out of notice.
No problem.
Did you want to plug anything for this this Chainsaw interview?
Please commission me. I'm Rails _VT on Twitter. I have an artistry. It's just under the same name. Commission me. I'm unemployed.
Yeah, please.
Yeah, that's
I
all.
get it. I know how that feels.
Okay.
And yeah, so like as a reminder, he's the guy who drew us double teaming Makima on the back.
Yeah, this is the dude.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you. I will see
no
you,
problem.
Rayos, for the next 100 Girlfriends chapter. I hope you have a great day.
I'll see you all later. Yeah, you too.
Boom. How do I hang up from him but not you? Okay, there we go. He left.
Okay.
Oh, that
I
was
wasn't going to let you drop the call without hanging up completely because you created the group message.
I full screened this and I don't know how to get out of it.
Oh my god.
Oh, we're good. Okay. Woo! I am quickly becoming a tech boomer. It's happening. Every update, I stray further and further from God.
Dude, don't even get me started.
Oh man, well that was fun. You see what? Isn't he a lovely guy? If you want more of him, watch 100 Girlfriends. That's our new series.
Like, literally.
And unlike this one that'll come out sporadically and whenever the fuck we feel like it, 100 Girlfriends every week, baby. Consistency. If that's what you crave, come and watch it.
And maybe once a year you'll get a One Piece video.
Yeah, you know what? I gotta hit him up because he did recently message me again and be like, "Oh, I got my internet back, so we can try again." I think Thurman be struggling is what's going on with him. He's just internet, not internet. I'm sorry, money. I imagine. I know he moved and shit, but whatever. Let's see. Is there more to say about this particular? So yeah, ear's gone. Did we want to talk about? I guess we never talked about like sushi platter head. That whole reveal that was interesting.
I get the inciting the full form of Chainsaw Man that way, but like literally, like I'm curious at this point, did Denji technically consume his daughter?
That's what I
as
want to
the
know.
sushi.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like that's got to be, if not what's implied, I feel like Denji's got to be thinking that in his head as a possibility, right?
Right.
Like that's got to be, to me, that's like one of the things that pushes him over the edge, like. Not only is she dead, and then he's realizing that he's been eating slowly, and she's on the tray, and it's like, oh geez, you know, like his guys might be in the back room, like turning her into sushi, and then that brings up all the fucking Makima trauma and memories, and so no doubt he's like shitting his pants over that.
Yeah, literally, he should have wore the brown pants.
Speaking of that, dude, Deadpool. I'm excited.
Are you going to go see that?
I gotta see it. It's Wolverine and Deadpool. That's probably gonna be like the last. That's gonna be like the last
good
Marvel
movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've been debating on seeing that because I have like 4 people that want to see that with me. I'm like, who do I want to see this with? Because I just went and saw Maxine with my partner.
Do you got that free shit? Is it free?
I gotta resubscribe to that.
Damn. Okay.
I mean, it's worth it overall, right?
Yeah.
Like, but like, I'm not in the position to go see movies that I used to be in, where I could just drop everything and go and see something randomly on a fucking Tuesday morning. So like, I kind of just let that pass when I changed my credit card and everything.
So I'm just looking through some of these previous chapters here. So basically, like, yeah, let's see. So he wanted him to kill the public safety mooks hiding outside. Sounds like a slur. Let me see.
You picked that up from me. I feel like.
What, slurs?
No, mooks.
Oh, no.
Like
I didn't say that. He's Bareem said that. I'm reading it straight up from the chapter. He said, "Will you?" He said, "I'm sorry, not Bareem. Fucking Denji said it. Denji says, "Will you take me to Nayuta if I kill the public safety mooks hiding outside?"
Oh, I didn't even realize. Like, that word is so common to me now that I didn't even register it as coming out of somebody's mouth there.
Yeah. So, basically, I guess all there is to say at this point is, like, the fact that Bareem has him transform now makes me feel like, I mean, how close are we to the Death Devil coming? Because I feel like it's not smart to have him transform now if it's not soon, because like what are you gonna do? Just have like this Chainsaw Man going around erasing all concept? Like, I'm happy to report that it's not just me, because even Allie's reading it weekly, and I'm like, do you even know what's going on? And she's like, I've definitely lost the plot. Like, I mean, I vaguely do, but like it doesn't I don't understand the plans of anyone, because none of the plans seem to make any sense. And please tell me in the comments if I'm stupid and wrong, but like none of these plans
I'm sure there'll be a couple of them.
None of these plans seem to make any sense. Like, it's like
it's okay. So the guys and I are going through all of Power Rangers. This feels very much like a Power Rangers villain plot of the fucking week as we go across, right? The last 8 or 9 arcs.
I loved that episode of Power Rangers where Rita Repulsa fucking fed Red Ranger's friend to him.
I mean, would you believe me if they technically were baked into a goddamn pizza at one point?
I'm gonna pull what they call a Cartman.
Yeah, we never got that dark on canon Power Rangers. We've gotten dark in the fucking comics, but like it's fucking. It feels like a villain of the week plot every fucking time we go through, and I'm like, that's great. I remember when the plots actually made sense. I remember when the plans actually were like, oh, we're going to go and we're going to combine our powers and we're going to fight the tsunami thing and we're going to go and ride a goddamn shark. Like, it was dumb. It was very much Power Rangers-esque, but the plans actually made sense.
Well, again, I feel like on concept I know what's happening here. It's like, okay, they strengthened War Devil and Chainsaw Devil, because they're trying to get them strong so they can defeat Death Devil, the most powerful devil in existence. But like, why are we having him transform now? Unless I'm misunderstanding how, because like I feel like if narratively like the apocalypse is coming like soon. A good writer would have like clarified that. It would have been like, hey, by the way, that's like tomorrow. But I don't have any sense of time in terms of like when that's happening or how soon that's happening. So like it just
didn't Yoshida at some point say like in a few months?
He gave a specific date a while ago, but like I've not gotten any vibe that it's like within. Like,
right.
I don't feel like it's like tomorrow or something.
Right. It feels very much like we have vacuumed time to a Hunter level here, right? Where we're going up during the fucking Chimera Anarch. That's what it feels like.
Oh, as
here.
in, like, is time even passing? It's hard to tell, yeah. But, yeah, I mean, like, I guess I'll be curious to see now that this, version of Chainsaw Man that can just erase concepts casually is, like, up and about and going around. Like, how long do we need to keep him in this form? Or do they have, like, some kind of plan to somehow capture him and, like unleash him when the time is right? I mean, like,
we're going to trap him in the basement of that facility that's probably not even existing anymore.
A lot of people the Rize fans are still like, now's the time. They're going to break her out.
They're going to break her out. We're going to go to Russia. We're going to break her out. And we're going to have Bomb Devil versus Denji. And we're going to erase the concept of bombs. Because
honestly, when we erase the concept of bombs, and this is another good example of, like, we need clarification on how these rules work, right? Because it's like, if we erase the concept of bombs, is that just bombs or explosions in general? It's better just be bombs, because explosions need to happen because that's how, like, the sun works.
Fuck it. The sun's gone, too.
Bro, imagine nuclear fusion devil. He just eats that and the universe just implodes.
You know what? Given how broad some of these fucking devils are, that could be a thing.
Genuinely. I mean, wait, hold on. By this concept, what happens if you eat Blood Devil? No, so, like, okay, here, if Blood Devil got erased, does A, all living creatures that use blood to live just die? Or B, do we, like...
Are we all plant people?
I was gonna say, yep, basically just that. Would we then shift to an alternate, like, timeline where we've all evolved to use something other than blood? That's fascinating. I want that kind of shit explored. So all this to be said,
You're giving Fujimoto way too much credit.
That's what I want. Well, here's the thing. Part 2, it's a fucking mess, but it still has these, like, interesting concepts that I'm like, oh, where's this gonna go? It's, like I said, it's a car wreck. It's a car wreck that, like... No, you know what it is? It's like when the road's icy and, like, a car wreck happens, and then people keep sliding into it and adding to the car wreck, and it's like, but you're kind of sitting there and you're standing on the sidewalk and you're like, I just want to keep watching this. Like, when will it end?
And then you get hit by a fender and you can cause yourself a fucking $1,000 plus fucking hospital bill.
Possible. But yeah, I mean, at this point, I'm just really curious to see. I'm glad that we're watching the concept erasure happen in real time. I want to see that happen with more. I want to see him eat all these fuckers. Like, it actually there's a part like this in Undead Unluck. I don't know, you stopped reading Undead Unluck, but there's a part like this I remember where Andy is going through, and it's like right before the first loop happens, and he's like, because nothing matters, it's like the loop is tomorrow, so he's just like casually killing Umas, and they're just like, he just erased gravity, and they're all floating. He just erased fucking this and that, and we're just like, I love that as a concept, like erasing things from existence. So like, I want to see him just go fucking ham and just start like erasing a bunch of shit. But the question now is this a reversible thing? Because ears are fucking gone now, and like, I assume you assume, like in most narratives, the humans are gonna win, they're gonna avert the apocalypse, but maybe not, because it's Fujimoto. And like, something like ears being gone makes you feel like, are they gonna survive this? I mean, are we really gonna have the status quo of the series be like, we won, but now we're all earless people? It's really interesting. I mean, that aspect is interesting.
Yeah, it definitely gives me like Devilman vibes, where like everything is leading to the apocalypse, and we're going to see how far we can take the concept of the apocalypse, right? And I love that aspect of things. I really do. But at the same time, I really do wish, and we're getting it now, thankfully, near what is seemingly the end game of part 2. We're actually sitting down and exploring the lore and the world that I've been desperately clamoring for since the end of part 1, right? Remember way back when like the Future Devil shit was getting dropped, I was like, I really wish they would explore some of the concepts that have been explained to us, like broad stroke. And now that, I guess it's just how jaded I've been at part 2, I'm like, that's great. I wish this would have happened before I didn't like care for it as much, you know?
I'm trying so hard with every chapter to like not let, I don't know, I don't want to come into a chapter biased, like, oh, I'm frustrated with this series, so like, even if something cool happens, I'm gonna be like, it's not cool, you know? So like, I'm trying,
and I love what we're getting right now, right? But I just genuinely don't have the faith that I did back during part 1 to have it be this consistent near the end.
Oh yeah, I mean, that's how faith in authors works, you know, like, you get good boy points and bad boy points, and you know, he built up a lot, and then we had like
tanked it
50 chapters in a row of midness, and you know, it's like basically ever since Falling Devil ended, it's been oops all mid, with like occasional fucking glimmers of interesting stuff. So.
Right, like I'm never going to be like to the point where I hate this series, but I very much, it has dropped out of like my top 10.
Yeah, there was a point where Chainsaw Man was eking into my top 5, and that was of course towards the end of part 1. But yeah,
and like the same thing I felt like happened to Black Clover just during the last arc, and what we're getting in the Jump quarterly stuff. I'm like, this would have been great if we would have explored like the last couple kingdoms, right, before we got to the final battle, and actually explored like all of the little plot holes that had actually been there. And I guess it's more of my brain wanting high fantasy in that, whereas this, I would love to have explored a lot of these concepts a little bit sooner before we get to the apocalypse and we see everything kind of culminating into this final war here of like, I'm guessing war versus and Denji / Black Form Chainsaw Man versus Death, right?
With the war, yeah, somehow War Devil's going to be involved, and I'm really curious how, you know, and like the thing is, I'm still really invested in like Asa's character arc. I really like her a lot, and I want to know what's going to happen. And now these bitches are earless. It's like, so
how are you going to seduce Asa at the end of this if she can't hear Denji?
Dances. We'll do some peacock shit, you know, peacocking.
Yeah, I guess.
That's how animals do it. They don't need to talk. They can just kind of...
I guess.
He can come in with his fucking robe and, like, slowly disrobe.
You gave me my first nut that wasn't myself. I think I love you.
You always remember your first nut that wasn't yourself. And... I was just gonna drop again. Mine was a man. A man gave me my first nut that wasn't myself. And I questioned if I was bisexual for years. I can't believe it took me until like 2022 to be like, yeah, I think I am actually.
You're bisexual for the Doctor from Doctor Who, and maybe a fluffy-haired twink.
No, we've gone over this. My horizons have expanded. You know, I think a lot of it's like when for years you think like, well, am I really? It's the classic, like, okay, you know that meme where it's like, sure, I think about killing myself, but everyone does, right? And they're like, no. That's me with like, well, yeah, I mean, every once in a while I maybe think about
cue that Logic song.
Is there anything else to talk about that we want to talk about at all? Because the last one we reviewed was the jerk off in an alley chapter, yeah.
Right.
So I'm trying to think if there's anything else that we need to go over. They come to the sushi. They ride the train. I feel like some shit was going down on that train that was funny. Or the subway, rather. I guess same thing.
The subway, yeah.
Oh, my computer is going so slow. It's like, Skype, Chrome, and OBS? It's too much. Okay.
That is too much for my little gaming laptop, which is depressing to think about.
I know, it's fucking... I'm sure just like gaming, there's probably like a crisis in optimization that's not happening in a bunch of these things.
OBS optimized?
Yeah, God forbid. By the way, the reason that we had so many goddamn tech issues in that first 100 Girlfriend stream is because I dared to update my OBS and it fucking ruined everything.
You never update OBS before you record?
Yeah, I did not realize. God forbid you can just update a thing. Let me see.
You know, the depressing part is, like, OBS used to be a lot more optimized when we first started recording shit, and now that they got bought out and then bought out again, it's like, fuck it, we'll push this, let the intern write the code, and it's like, everything breaks.
Honestly, I can tell that it's not as optimized, because whenever I'm recording and I try to move my mouse around, it's, like, slower. But, so I just want to highlight a couple funny pieces of dialogue here. Denji just having this like universal mind being opened moment where he's just like looking around the restaurant, and this is on 169, and he's like, yeah, he's looking at all these people, he's looking at the chef preparing the sushi, and he's like, have they all shot their load by someone else's hands before? Is this just normal?
Never underestimate the power of a good hand job, okay?
Oh, it really changed his life. And he's like, the sushi's flowing before my eyes, and I just climaxed by someone else for the first time. It's interesting that he says, physically it wasn't as good as when I jack it, but it did make my heart feel really nice. And to me, that's just not true. Like, almost always, if you get an orgasm from someone else, it physically feels better as well. Personally, because like as long as you can come, which you know he did, because there's something that's the reason that like the concept of a stranger exists. Like do you know what that means? Like in terms of masturbating,
sit on your hand till it goes numb,
which is weird, and I've never done that. But like the reason that exists is it how is it?
It's mid, honestly.
Yeah, to me, I wouldn't be able to come because I'd be distracted by my hand being numb, personally.
Exactly.
Yeah. Like, but the reason that, like...
This is ADHD problems, everyone, that we're talking about, by the way. Like, not being able to come because your brain is thinking of other things. So this video brought to you by Five Hands.
I was going to say, brought to you
We've
by...
We've sold out to Big Pharma.
Oh, yeah, I don't know what brand... Is that a brand of medicine?
It's a fucking ADHD man.
I was gonna say brought to you by what is it? Is it Ritalin or what's
Adderall?
Ritalin? What the fuck is Ritalin? Why did I think of that? Is that a headache medicine?
That was like the first ADHD med that was widely prescribed. I've been on them all. Yay!
All right, Vex, tier list rank the ADHD medicine.
So Ritalin gave me fucking anorexia. So that is definitely F tier. 88. Adderall is like college hyper focus. I would give that an A tier. Concerta is kind of that weird one where like you get so used to it in your body, and it's just like you build up a tolerance like with a fucking hard drug, so you gotta constantly upgrade it, up the dosage. So that is like a C tier. Like when it works, it's great, but when it's not, it's just like really, really bad. And you also have this lovely fainting spell that comes with it. So wouldn't recommend that. And then Vyvanse is S tier because it's not a hard amphetamine, but it still keeps you focused. I will say you don't stick with the 30 milligrams that they give you with. I am at a sweet spot with 40 milligrams.
I really appreciate how ready you were to do that. Like, I don't think you've ever been as ready for anything in your entire life.
I'll be that ready at the altar, and then that fucking ranking drugs.
I'm gonna clip that and put it on TikTok as a clip. That was excellent. Oh my god.
Please tag me.
I will. That was really good. Honestly, that was like some of the funniest you've ever been in a very long time. You
Can you tell I've actually thought about that before?
Yeah, you locked in. That was good. Jesus, man. I like this part where now I'm just kind of sweeping up parts that we need to talk about. I like this part where fucking Asa asks Fami a question and her mouth is full and she's just like I don't know if you remember that. That was funny.
My computer is rendering a music video right now. I cannot
that's fine. I'm just looking through. Yeah, I mean, I feel like we've basically said everything we needed to say. Is Nayuta actually dead? I mean, I don't know. Right?
Technically, could be, could not be, right? Like, obviously, she's still, like, a deity, basically, right? Let's call it what fucking is. She's one of the four horsemen, technically.
Well, yeah, I mean, the two options would be she's still alive in this form, or she's died and been reborn in hell, I assume.
Right. Yeah, that's the thing, right? Is this version dead, and will we have a worse version of the inevitable part 3? Because it seems like we're more than willing to milk this franchise.
I wonder if Fujimoto's ever gonna have like a red line, like, okay, I'm done now. I'll be curious.
Yeah, I guess that will kind of depend on how this ends, right? Yeah. Will there be a picking up point at the end of this, like there was for part 1?
Mm-hmm. Or is everyone just gonna die as earless little husks? And
you know, it's very possible. Like, what concerns me is, like, Denji's on the loose in this form. Obviously, we can run roughshod throughout everything. And public safety is full of concepts as a whole, right? Will Denji go ham on Yoshida for hurting his girl? Will we erase fluffy haired twinks from existence? I don't think I could live in that world.
I don't know why it made me laugh so hard for you when you said public safety is full of concepts. It's just a funny fucking sentence, like you know that meme, like slaps car roof. You can fit so many concepts. Oh my god,
we're going back to 2018 memes.
That's a good meme. There is a point you do hit a point when you age where it's like, this is the year that I stopped adapting and I will constantly live in the past.
Yeah.
And for me, it was right around COVID.
That's fair. Like, the fact that Skibbity Toilet is getting a fucking feature film adaptation from Michael Bay. I'm
what?
Like,
that's not real.
That is real. The real Discussing Film tweeted it, okay? I sourced that shit. I made sure, because Twitter is a cesspool of misinformation, I made sure it's being reported by Discussing Film's official account, it's being reported by a bunch of other fucking official
right now. No.
I thought it was like the Disbussing film at first. I'm like, okay, let me dig deeper. And no, it's a real fucking thing.
Yeah, there's a Variety article about it.
That is proof.
Made that is all I'm saying. And they just like you know what's more exciting? The more exciting internet movie is A24 is making a Backrooms movie.
That fits them though.
Like, that could be good. And the fact that it's A24, I'm excited for that.
Yeah, I definitely don't know if you watch them. And I don't know where you stand fully on psychological horror, but like
that's the best kind of horror.
Well, then you'll love the Pearl trilogy. So Pearl, X, and then now Maxine. It's a trilogy of movies by T. West, and has Mia Goth in them, or which, you know, depending on your thought process of method acting, could be very good or very bad. But I found them all fascinating. I definitely think that X was the best of the three, but it tells like a timeline story throughout 3 different periods and fucking the U.S. essentially, like from World War II on down to like the 80s. It's really fucking cool. I don't want to say a whole lot on it, but
yeah, don't spoil it. Interesting. Okay. Well, do we have any final thoughts to end off this review?
I'll see y'all in a month probably.
Yeah, and never fucking update OBS. Because I never had a goddamn issue until now. So that's cool.
So like how I handle OBS updates is I wait for 2 or 3 of them to come through and then I update it all at once.
Oh, trust me, dude. I hadn't updated it since like 2019. It was.
I wouldn't have put it off that long.
I had okay. So right now it's OBS 30.1.2. Before I updated it, it was OBS 26.
Jesus Christ!
I don't update anything. I fucking hate updating shit because I don't like it when it changes. That's my fucking autism OCD kicking in. So like,
yeah, we're on the same version of OBS.
Yeah, so because I just updated it right before we did. Me and Rios did our thing. But like, here's the thing. I hadn't updated it. If you can remember when you helped me install OBS, that would have been the last time it got updated because it didn't ever get updated. so like pre-COVID. Pre-COVID.
Yeah, literally when you just... No, it wasn't been pre-COVID because you also had to fucking replace your laptop. And then...
Oh, that's true.
Well, didn't replace it, but you had to take it in and get it repaired during COVID. At some point, remember?
Yeah, but they were able to repair it. I don't think I had to reinstall anything.
Depending on that, it definitely would have been when you bought the laptop. Jesus Christ!
Yeah. I mean, I'll Google. My phone's in the other room. That's the only reason I was using Chrome in here. But someone could just Google when OBS 26 came out. All right, I'm gonna chance it. See if it can handle it. Come on, baby. And I'm gonna use Firefox. You think that uses less RAM than Chrome?
Might.
Come on, Firefox.
Anybody want to give us
Oh no, Firefox is updating! Alright, we're ending the review. Fuck you guys. Goodbye. Before my computer explodes.